Hello, everybody. It's the great one again. And you know what? Um, Shout out to all um, the teams in the NBA playoffs. Congratulations to you. You know, it's funny how people can rate a person a bust, a scrub, or this type of dude, or whatever. But they never really got that far themselves. The old Indian proverb says, never criticize a person until you walk a mile in their moccasins. Well, I wonder why everybody gave my man Kwame Brown the blues. Okay. He didn't choose to be drafted number one overall when he was. He didn't choose that. It chose him. Obviously, the brother had some kind of skill in order to be drafted that high. People give him the blues because he was drafted number one by the Wizards, I think in 2001, I believe. Good while ago. I remember that draft real well. Okay, he came out of Gwynn Academy in Georgia. Kwame is originally from South Carolina. He originally signed a 4-year scholarship to the University of Florida, but circumstances prevailed. Well, you know what? Hey, 4 years in Gainesville wasn't going to give him the money that he needed to take care of his family. So he obviously took the money, and I'm not mad at it. Um, if America can send 18-year-olds to war, why can't an 18-year-old choose his career? It happens in baseball, it happens in entertainment, and other things as well. So why couldn't he do it? He had a fairly good career, if you ask me. He played 12 years, got him a ring, pretty much like a lot of these European players that get drafted. They stick around. I mean, some of them might not be that good, but they stick around and they get paid. Well, look at Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick then played for damn near every team in the National Football League. You know what I'm saying? You know, and nobody ever says, "Oh, Fitzpatrick is a scrub," or "Fitzpatrick is no good," and he's not doing it. But Ryan Fitzpatrick is still collecting NFL checks. I know Kwame. I think he had a deferred agreement or something like that. He's still getting checks, man. If I might be wrong, or if I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong. But Kwame wasn't bothering nobody. He was sitting back, sitting on top of the money he had made already, and minding his doggone business. He didn't care. So what? I played longer than half of y'all who talking trash about me. I lasted 12 years, and Matt Barnes is one of them. Matt Barnes wasn't no enforcer. I mean, he was a decent defensive player, but he wasn't no enforcer like that. You're sitting on speaking on that like you had this glorious career, and you really didn't. He had a decent career, just like Kwame did. Gilbert Arenas. Yes, the Gilbert Arenas pulling guns on his teammate in the locker room, talking about he'll shoot somebody's kneecaps out. The Gilbert Arenas who's supposed to be playing ball but having these wild, exotic birthday parties while he's still trying to play ball or whatever. Gilbert Arenas who criticizing black women. Yeah, this Gilbert Arenas who had a halfway, to me, had a halfway decent career in the NBA. They paid him $63 million to go away. And let's talk about Charlemagne the God. Now, Charlemagne has a tendency to rub people the wrong way. As Funk Master Flex, as Baby, as Fredro Starr, and there's some other people that's came on there. I know it's your job. Your job is to interview people and get information from people, but it's not to go personal. And when he was talking about Kwame Brown, he went personal. They talk about Kwame Brown's NBA career, not his personal life. You ain't have to throw his pops out there. Although you went to school with his sister in South Carolina, there y'all grew up in the same area. You didn't have to do all that. What did you do that for? That made no sense in the world to go after that man's family. Makes no sense to go after that man's career because he played 12 more years in the NBA than I did. I never played in the NBA. I don't even talk about dudes who played in the NFL. And I know several of them personally. They played in the NFL longer than I did. They got to the NFL. To get to come from one level to another, to fulfill your lifelong dream, right there, that's success right there. That's to fulfill your lifelong dream in whatever endeavor that you chose is success right there. Whether you were the best at it or you had someone where people say a mediocre career, I say put it this way. If you're doing what you love to do, that you dream about all your life and you did it for a number of years, then more power to you. But a lot of these people are taking personal shots, took personal shots at this young man. I call him young man because he's younger than me. And that's not right. He didn't take any personal shots at no one. I saw his interviews. He said nothing about, he said Michael Jordan didn't make me cry. He said me and Charles Oakley, we sat down and we talked like men. He said Oak helped me. For a lot of y'all people going after, and then I heard a YouTuber went after him. Look, I ain't coming at you, bro. Now, if you think I'm coming after you and you want to come with the mama's cooking, I got strong shoulders, brother. I've lived on this earth for 53 years, so, and I've heard it all. So I'm not coming for you at all, neither am I bowing down or whatever. I'm just saying, what was done to you was wrong. Like I said, I haven't played 12 years in the NBA. I wouldn't know what 12 years in the NBA looked like. You do. I can't tell you to take the high road, bro, because you felt hurt. And you know what happens to a hurt dog? He bites back. I can't tell you, hey man, don't come back on these folks. because I'll be wrong. You have to do what you got to do. But I feel that these folks should have never bothered with you. You didn't bother with them. You were sitting back wherever you live now, sitting on top of your money laughing. Like, okay. I get a pension check from the NBA. I get this from the NBA. I'm still eating. My mama's still living in that nice house that I promised that I'll get her, and I got it for her. You know, I'm living a good life. I ain't bothering nobody. I ain't saying nothing about it to somebody. If these guys wanted to do right by you, they would have asked you before they start throwing the shade on you. Say, well, you know what? Let me bring my man Kwame on the show and let him talk about experiences in the NBA. Let me bring him on the show and let's break bread that way. But no, y'all went after that man's character. Y'all went after that man's neck. And you don't do that to another man. He didn't tell y'all that. You don't do that to another man. If he's not bothering you, leave him alone. Kwame ain't played in the league in like what? 6, 7 years. So he done made his money and moved out. Let that man go. We got a lot more things to talk about than to talk about Kwame Brown's basketball career. We still got brothers being killed by the police. We still got brothers killing each other. And we still have a problem in this country we haven't addressed called racism. But yet still we want to mess with a man and his career. Now, Charlemagne, I heard the stories about your wife and what happened and what happened. I'm not going to go there because that's your life. You got to stand before God and tell God what went on. That's what you got to do. I don't have to do that. You know, I don't have to co-sign on some of the stuff that happens with you. I mean, you're a best-selling author. You wrote 2 books, whatever that case may be. But I need you, to me, are acting like your old boss, Wendy Williams. How she goes after people. And none of that's right. How Wendy Williams went after Method Man's wife when she was, you know, dealing with cancer. You don't do no stuff like that. You don't do no stuff like that for ratings. You don't do that. You speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. If people don't like the truth, well, okay, they ain't got to watch you. But don't shoot at people and their personal lives to get ratings. If that's what you learned from Wendy Williams, from working with Wendy Williams, Charlemagne, then I feel bad for you, son. I really do. I know you don't want to come out of pocket because you work for them people. Them people make you jump up and down. And I know Corey Holcomb wanted to defend you because I really don't care what Corey said either. You don't come after somebody personally, man. A man don't come after a man personally. If it's anything personal, he sits down with that other man and he talks to him. You don't put it out there in the atmosphere. That's nobody else's business. If you want to talk about Kwame's career, then you can talk about Kwame's career. You know, there's been several other people. You got to think about it. He came straight out of high school, just like Kobe, just like Daryl Dawkins, just like Bill Willoughby, just like Jermaine O'Neal, just like Kevin Garnett. Okay? Just like Tracy McGrady. It varies. That's what's called life. Some people might make that jump and might, do okay and whatever. And then some people might make that jump and boom. Heck, we've had guys who had 4 years of college, or I go at least 3 years of college that didn't even play that well in the league, but traveled from team to team. That's how it goes sometimes. But by no means, Stephen A. Smith, that this young man was a bust. This young man couldn't do this. I think you played basketball at Winston-Salem State. You didn't get invited to no NBA camps. You got Coach Big House Gaines fired. You got a legend fired with no fault of his own. No. Clarence Big House Gaines couldn't recruit any more Earl of Pearl Monroes or Cleo Millers or any other players he could get. Something happened on the way to heaven. It's called integration. Had our integration never happened, maybe he could have got to Charlie Scott or the Michael Jordan. But he didn't there, Stephen A. Now you can go all around, well, I work for nothing. Okay. But you fulfilled your dream. You fulfilled your dream. Just like Kwame fulfilled his. And I'm sick and tired of people going after people because they fulfilled their dream. They may not have been the greatest at that dream, but they fulfilled it. Nevertheless, however you think, it doesn't matter. But if we're going to sit down here and break men down, or break women down because, well, your career wasn't all that great. Sheldon Williams played 4 years at Duke. His claim to fame is marrying Candace Parker. Calbert Cheaney had a 4-year career in Indiana. Calbert had a pretty solid career. Roy Hibbert played 3 years at Georgetown. Roy had a solid career in the NBA. Jeff Green played at Georgetown. Jeff Green had solid careers, having a solid career in the NBA. People say, well, Jeff don't play. I say, hey, he fulfilled his dream. Now, however you look back at his career and say whatever, then that's your business. But to come at a person personally, to talk about their father, to talk about their family, you don't want to make Kwame Brown, Kwame Brown, family killers. Bruh, you don't do that. And that's what I'm calling tap dancing for them people. Boy, sometimes y'all South Carolinians, man, and I ain't going to use the word Geechee because my Uncle Kenny taught me, you do not call a person from South Carolina a Geechee and think you're going to keep that and keep a straight face. Okay? My mother's from South Carolina. My thing is, you South Carolinians, boy, sometimes y'all say some things out of your mouth. I'm talking about the ones that look like me, that you might want to keep it in your mouth or keep it in your head. Jim Clyburn, Tim Scott. You might just want to think about the things you say about a certain person or about a certain subject. You might want to just instead of open your mouth and insert foot. Tim Scott, Jim Clyburn, Mr. McKelvey, Leonard McKelvey, a.k.a. Charlemagne. Because you sound crazy. First, Timmy Scott was, oh, there's no racism in America. Jim Clyburn. Man, I'm ashamed of you. You were present to one of the worst massacres in American history at South Carolina State, where 2 students were just killed for just standing up and exercising their right to protest. Killed for nothing. You forgot that, Jim? And you graduated from South Carolina State. Go Bulldogs. Like I said, leave Kwame Brown alone, man. That man ain't bothering nobody. Don't be mad because that man got 12 years of checks that you couldn't get. Don't be mad because that man bought his mama a house that you couldn't buy your mama. Don't be mad because that man's still getting pockets of money and you ain't getting none. Leave that man alone. Let that man go wherever he is and do whatever he wants to do and live his life. Leave him alone. Y'all gonna learn. Leave people alone. If they ain't bothering you, don't bother them. Deal with the issues that's going on and leave people the hell alone. If they don't want to be bothered, they don't want to be bothered. I mean, go play out in the freeway or somewhere, but leave people alone, man. Stack 5, Matt Barnes, Gilbert. Y'all all learning a valuable lesson about that, man. Let sleeping dogs lie. Leave them alone. He went after LeBron. He went after Jamel Hill. Y'all better leave this young man alone. That's the last person I mess with. If that man at 17, almost 18 years old, can buy his mama that house on the golf course, I'm talking about a nice house, you got to applaud the brother. Yeah, maybe he was, I heard some stories where he didn't know how to take his stuff to the cleaners and all he ate was pop. How many of the 18-year-olds you know, they come out sophisticated? Hell, I made simple mistakes at 18. You got people my age still doing stupid stuff. But yet still you gonna fire at this guy? We all did some immature, stupid stuff. Y'all gotta remember, LeBron left high school. I forgot LeBron. LeBron, Kobe, and Kevin Garnett left high school. They came into, all 3 of them came into a grown man's world. I'm gonna throw Carmelo Anthony in there because he only did 1 year at Syracuse. They came into a league where they couldn't drink. They weren't 21. They couldn't go and indulge in adult type entertainment because they were still children. So they did what children do. But you guys are going to attack Kwame Brown. Gilbert Arenas, out of all people, should have never attacked this man. You bringing guns to an arena? Guns when you could have paid a bodyguard cheaper than one of them guns you bought. You even went to jail. Kwame didn't go to jail. Kwame wasn't doing all that stupid stuff that you were doing in Washington, because I know. All that simple and silly stuff you was doing. But yet still you gonna come after this, man. Matt Barnes, you ain't been absolved either. Like Kwame said, you tried to play that gangster tough dude when you was soft as cotton. You tried to do the little flinch thing in Kobe's face. Kobe looking at you like, man, really? Really, dude? You trying to do that old bald fake flinch? Kobe said, I'm from Philly, man. I'm from Philly. You don't do that stuff in my face, flinch the ball in my face, think I'm gonna blink. Slim, you might want to pass the ball because I'm going to dunk on you. I'm going to embarrass you. And you even sat there and played with Kobe just like Kwame did. Stack 5, come on, Steven. I loved your career. You were a good baller. When you heard Matt Barnes coming out the mouth, you said, no, bro. Leave that brother alone, man. Let's bring that brother on the show first and let's talk. Let's don't do that brother like that, man. Let's see there and let's let that brother sit here and have defense for himself. Let's not do that. But we got people like that. And that man expressed how he felt about y'all. He called y'all some BM-made individuals. Because if you sat down there and talked to that dude, and everybody sits down and talks about their careers. You sat down there and talked to that man and really talked to him and said, you know what? How did you feel about your NBA career? How did you feel about, life after the NBA or life before the NBA? Could have sat down and talked to that brother. And he probably would have gave y'all a good interview. He seems like an entertaining brother. He probably would have had y'all laughing y'all behinds off, like he got me laughing my behind off. See, that's what if y'all want to All That Smoke podcast, hey, y'all could have added Kwame and had a real All That Smoke, and then y'all could just talk. Rachel Nichols, you interviewed him when he came to Washington. Y'all know better than that, man. Some of y'all just tap dancing for the man to get likes and everything else. Don't do that at the expense of somebody else. Just tell the real. Be really real. And then let that person deal with it, whatever is dealt with. But don't go at that man like that. Leave that man alone. He enjoying the fruits of his labor right now. He riding around, enjoying himself, laughing at y'all like y'all real stupid. He said, y'all do too. The two of y'all sound like two bitter individuals. Two bitter individuals. And what you got to be bitter for? Both of y'all had NBA careers like he did. It proves that you can't play sports all your life. You got to be able to do something out of that. And if you mad about all the money you lose, Steven Jackson, I heard you, man, I got to pay all these baby mamas. Well, what you should have did was worked on your pull-out game, or went to CVS or Walgreens or the free clinic and got you some condoms. I don't feel bad for none of all these ex-NBA players and NFL players talking about they broke right now. I don't feel bad for them because you fulfilled the dream that you had. You just didn't know how to control your other parts of you. Had you did that, you probably still would have had some scratch. You had some scratch in your pockets. Had you not tried to buy all the bling in the world, you'd have had some scratch in your pocket. Had you not tried to buy 15 cars to be on MTV Cribs talking about, look at all my whips, you'd probably still be stacking cash or, whatever. Or wouldn't have to play past your prime to keep up with the demands. You probably retired and say, I'm going to go do this. But Kwame, everybody had a perception about this brother. But this brother is a highly intelligent man. He graduated with honors from school. That's what people don't know about. He had a full ride scholarship in Florida. He wouldn't have been under academic probation if he walked on the court. He could have walked on the court and played right then and there. So watch what you say about certain people, man. Because people can turn around and say that same things about you. Y'all be easy. And to Kwame, big up, man. You's a funny dude. That's all I got to say. You are a funny, funny dude.